Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Catty Crypto here. So you know me, I hate reading news articles, but if we have to do it, we do it. Now, if you don't know who Edward Kim is EK826, and we've had him on the show many times. Now, this is a really good sign, not only for you folks, but for the overall community, the movement, and just ensuring you that the correct people are in the correct positions taking care of things. Now, what is V21 and what does it mean for the LUNACLASSIC community? On the 8th of May 2022, the Terra stablecoin USTC depegged from its $1 mark and crashed over the period of several days. Trillions of Luna were minted and billions worth of BT was sold to prevent the collapse of USTC, but the framework could not support the massive sell-off, and the Terra ecosystem suffered a devastating death spiral. Excuse me. When the price of Luna cratered, the blockchain was at risk multiple types of attack, including governance attacks, Byzantine, fault-tolerant takeover attacks. Terraform Labs TFL, the developers of a Terra blockchain, issued a code patch to validators to prevent further damage, including disabling delegation, staking, and creation of new validators. The internal swapping mechanism between Luna and UST was disabled and the cross-chain communications bridges were severed. The Terra blockchain was crippled to a point of where it literally cannot survive in its current state, i.e. Terra is a proof of stake blockchain and staking has been disabled. In the wake of the disaster, most of the community left to create a new blockchain, and Luna was renamed LUNCPenguin. The validator nodes of the blockchain that sign off on transactions have stayed but are slowly eroding from the 130 active validators down to 84. This is at actually 83 at the moment now as far as I'm aware, but we'll keep moving forward. Since no new validators are allowed by the security patch, the life support of the chain can only monotonically expire. New investors and opportunity seekers have poured into the ecosystem, many without complete understanding of the state of affairs. And we are seeing this is very common. This is what it's all about, educating the next person that comes along and asks questions. Additionally, they have been locked out of a decentralized governance structure since they cannot stake and thus cannot vote on new proposals. If nothing is done, they will suffer the same loss as the previous generation. While the situation is dire, there is a glimmer of hope. A group of volunteers have self-organized into multiple factions to help resurrect the blockchain. I like the fact that Ed has stated this is not just TR, it's groups in the community, volunteers that have self-organized into multiple factions, and I guess HCC and the LUNCPenguin channel come under its own faction. Well, I hope it does anyway, because no one controls these channels but me, let me tell you that much. Aside the Let It Burn channel's governance system, as you folks understand, but what I mean is more the content. So some of these factions focus on burning. It's more about being bought out, isn't it, really? You know how I feel about being bought out. That really gets to me, that does. Sorry, let me carry on. Sorry, folks. Some of these factions focus on burning LUNC as a deflationary mechanism for cryptocurrency, and others are working on the blockchain technology itself. And that is me and my burn initiatives, because we're building it all around our node, and pretty much that's where the bulk of our burning will likely come from. So others are working on the blockchain technology itself. Our group of volunteers, Terra Rebels, is community focused on the technology. Over the past several months, we've been working diligently to code changes to the blockchain in accordance to past governance. Now, I don't know how it's been over the past several months. This is the bit that confuses me, because I mean, this means they had been working on it before the crash, so I'm sure that's got to be a typo or something. We've been working diligently to code changes to the blockchain in accordance to the past governance. We have authorized a new version of the software called V21. The most important features of V21 are that it enables delegation and staking. New investors would be able to delegate their tokens to an existing validator, earn delegation rewards, and participate in the voting process. This means they get a voice in how the blockchain can evolve from its comatose state. After 60 days, new validators will be enabled. Yes, that includes my node, and bringing that forward for the community and giving you a dead trustee person to stake with. And not only will you stake with us, you give us vote power to guide the actual governance system itself, and you help us burn LUNACLASSIC and provide a utility to the blockchain. So it's just one endless winning cycle for us all, and no one gets left out of pocket. In fact, you get rewarded. This will unlock the active set to anyone in the community who wishes to support the validation of on-chain transactions. The blocks have been set in V21 where the first changes should happen around August 26th. The exact block heights are shown as follows. And as you can see here, we've got this, and you don't need to worry about that so much because you can just head to LUNCPenguins, come to the dashboard and see right here exactly when it lands. Now, going back to this. Furthermore, to support the deflationary efforts of the LUNACLASSIC community, we have coded a variable tax mechanism that adds the specified tax to the required gas fees to perform transactions on chain. These taxes are collected and burned after every block. The taxes are coded but lie dormant in V21 upgrade. Enablement of these taxes require the community to propose and vote upon the exact parameter changes of the tax rate as described in our technical white paper linked below. One note is that the tax creates changes in how all parties must interact with the blockchain. Thus, all implications will need to be discussed and/or fixed before such a change is put into place. These will be outlined in the Agora Classic forums here after V21 is functioning on the LUNACLASSIC blockchain. While we have proposed these fixes to the blockchain, let us not be blind to the risks and challenges that still lie ahead. If USTC DPEG has taught us anything, we should continue to be being vigilant in our research and understanding of what has gone wrong and what could go wrong. In particular, if USTC were purposefully attacked, security measures should be at the forefront of the community development going forward. John Gold. So this is where the hot wallet comes into play, because it holds 40% of the circulating supply, which is enough to do some serious damage with. I mean, if this is an entity, right, if you lot think this is users and a lot of people think it's users, what's to stop these users, right, opening 5 validators nodes with all of those coins, getting all of them delegated and then built up with a voting power of, say, 15% each? They are going to absolutely control the governance, and it's at that point we do have a malicious actor, and it's not a community owned coin. And yeah, so outlines of a possible attack vector where the newly minted LUNC during the DPEG could be utilized against the blockchain. These concerns should not be dismissed, but discussed and addressed if needed. If the community continues to develop with input from all sides, we can rebuild Terra to something stronger than it's ever been. So what is V21? I believe V21 represents a glimmer of hope to the Terra ecosystem and to the cryptocurrency community as a whole. We, the community, can self-organize, protect and educate each other, restore what is broken and ultimately become stronger from it indeed. If V21 is successful, what is dead may never die. And this is just it. And one thing I want to point out to you folks here, if you remove the Terra Rebel symbol away from this, okay, this symbol means unity, okay, this is tattooed, okay, on the back of my arm. Now, it means order amongst chaos, and obviously, as you folks know, I was part of the marketing team and the operations team of Terra Rebels before I was pretty much bullied out, made to feel insignificant by a couple of people who are pretty much lying to me, but I actually suggested to put this forward, and every time I see it as such a strong bond between our community, because we are huddled. We have shown that we can self-organize, exactly what Ed said, and I can't put it any better. And we're just huddled. We are LUNCPenguins, and what is dead may never die, and it's that simple, folks. Stay with us, stay huddled. We are so close. This glimmer of hope is so much more than a glimmer of hope for myself and my community. It's freedom. It's freedom to bring up and show the crypto space exactly how a cryptocurrency should be run, and not taken over and taken control of like the SHIB devs have. And the bone bears of it is they're pretty much, it's a dictatorship over there. The community doesn't get a say in anything. Look at what we've achieved here. We're setting an example, and it is just as simple as that. We're proving everybody wrong. Everybody who has been against us up until this point, they're going to have to eat their words once this happens, in my opinion, because it's just, and there's so much in here that Ed said, and about the attack vectors and how it could be used against us, but at the same time, that 40% of that supply could be used for good. And that's why I've always pushed on it, and I've always kept it in my mind, because as Ed is saying, there's many ways we could suffer an attack, and we always need to not be blind to that and start acting like how Duquan was, where he was so big-headed and so blind to everything around him, and all he cared about was getting to where he was getting to, and he let out too much information, and we're just not going to have that happening. This is our Genesis, not his. This is our Genesis, the whole community, Terra Rebels, everybody across the board, all entities, all users, bag holders, node operators, validators, devs, operations people, marketing, anybody who's pushed this along, Lunatics token, Coinin, Vegas, myself, my Let It Burn channel, LUNCDAO. There's just so many people involved in this. I mean, so many people. Yanis, Luna V-Shape, Vizolai. There's just so many people. We've got Binance users sending burns. We've got CoinSpot users sending burns. And Coinin were the first people to ever implement the burn off-chain. We have so much positivity in our ecosystem that everybody wants to get involved with this now. Every influencer wants to cover LUNC. All these influencers that used to cover SHIB are now covering LUNC. And it's because they go to what is pretty much popular at the time, but we've been in this together from the beginning, my friends, all of us. We're all fellow penguins. We've always understood the process of what's happening, and we've never left any stones unturned. We've always made sure to cover all points, cover all exits, and always bring everything to light where it is needed. So stay safe out there, folks. I can't express that enough. When V21 drops, someone will come up with some kind of scam to get your money out of you, some kind of delegation scam or something like that. So be aware that there's going to be people looking to profit off of you. Just stay safe out there. If you're confused about something, you feel like you're going to be scammed, head over to our Telegram group. We will help you out. Someone in there will help you out, or just at me in there and I will get straight back to you to help you as quick as I can. Stay safe, penguins. Stay huddled, and I'll catch you in the next one. Shloop.